what our health and wellness is all about for tonight. He's a motivational speaker, transformation specialist who loves empowering others, radio show host of his inspiring, internationally syndicated radio show Love and Inspiration with a listenership of over 2.3 million. Visionary of the Love and Inspiration Wall Calendar, created to spread love and inspiration into your home, business, or organization. Former instructor at University of St. Martin, successfully works together with myself as a co-therapist in premarital and marriage therapy sessions. And he's truly a man of God with a mission in life to uplift humanity. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome Mr. Roy Jr. Get the music down. Let's see if I find it. Go ahead.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our wonderful, for the first time for 2022, our VLF Health and Wellness segment or seminar. And we're happy to have you here with us this evening. So Happy New Year to you, wherever you're joining us around the world. It's a pleasure to have you with us this evening. We're so happy to be here with you once again. As you know, we started off our health series or webinars back in March 2021. And we're very thankful to the good Lord for providing us this platform and being able to educate you and many others who've been to our Victorious Living Wellness seminars. So this evening, of course, being live on beautiful St. Martin, we welcome you. And we're happy to have our special guest this evening with us. Of course, you're going to hear from both of them very soon, from Mrs. Dawne Williams of beautiful St. Kitts and Nevis, and also from Sabina Asadova, who's going to be joining us from the USA. Well, let's get straight into it as I welcome you here this evening, where you're going to absolutely be in for a very informative evening. And just giving you an idea of who a Victorious Living Foundation is. Victorious Living Foundation is a nonprofit organization, a foundation based here on St. Martin. It was established back in 2002. And as you know, now we're in 2022. So if you do the math, that means that Victorious Living Foundation is going to be this year celebrating 20 years in existence. And of course, we are thankful to the good Lord for 20 years of what we do on St. Martin and the region and around the world. Victorious Living Foundation, as you can see on the screen, is all about focusing on really addressing the aforementioned needs through solution-focused methods of counseling, couples, individuals, families, youth, and also success coaching, health coaching, mentorship, which is one of the areas that we've done great work with our young people, entrepreneurship training, and a suite of training programs addressing anger management, conflict resolution, personal development, and much more. We also host such amazing events such as LeaderCast as one of the host sites here, the Leadership Summit. And we also have coming up in December on beautiful St. Martin at the 5-star Sonesta Ocean Point Resort, our retreat. And that is a powerful retreat to soar and get you ready for 2023. We focus on very much so, very importantly, as you know, people that are out there in our community, and especially now with what's happening in the world with COVID and much more, we focus on really helping people who are hurting. Our community is fragmented in many ways. And also, as you may have seen in your society, wherever you're joining us from in here in St. Martin, young people are frustrated, families are falling apart, marriages are failing, and divorce is rising. There's youth, juvenile delinquency, and many more ills within our society. And that's why Victorious Living Foundation is here with also your help to address these matters and really help our people in our society. So this evening, having you here with us is really absolutely our pleasure. And next to me, sitting is my beautiful wife, Dr. Nico Erneme Francis Cotton, who is the visionary of Victoria's State Foundation. She's a certified lifestyle prescription medicine health coach, also certified holistic health coach, certified success coach, marriage and family therapist, and master therapist. She was awarded an honorary Doctorate of Divinity from the Grace Hill Bible University. She's also the developer of the Grace Hill Bible University St. Martin Campus Counseling Degree Program, co-developer of the University of the West Indies Grief Counseling course for their Bachelor's of Science in Social Work program, best-selling co-author of Success from the Heart, Art of Its Times for Change, How to Thrive in Trying Times, Love is Forever, a True Tale of Love and Romance. And she's happily married to me now for over 8 years. This is going to be our 9th year, actually. So very much so, I'm thankful to the good Lord for my lovely wife, Dr. Nico Erneme Francis Cotton. So as we move forward this evening, we will get into introducing our first guest, who hails from the beautiful twin country of St. Kitts and Nevis, Miss Dawne Williams. So I'll leave it over to you, my wonderful sweetheart, to introduce Mrs. Dawne Williams.
Good evening and welcome to each one of you once again this evening. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce our first speaker for this evening, none other than Dawne Williams. And as you can see her vibrant smile, she's a vibrant young lady. She's a financial services and service excellence professional, an independent consultant in banking, financial services, management, and service excellence. She obtained her professional education from the United Kingdom Chartered Institute of Bankers, University of Manchester Institute of Science and Technology, Wharton Business School of the University of Pennsylvania, and University of Wales. Her career in the financial services industry spans 44 years. She doesn't look like that, right? She looks so young. How could it be 44 years? 25 of which were spent practicing throughout the English-speaking Caribbean. She has sound knowledge in general financial services operations, corporate banking, retail banking, wealth management, operational risk management, insurance, investment banking, credit union governance, and mergers and acquisition. Dawne is a self-motivated, personable, dynamic, and energetic transformational leader with a proven track record of performance and success. Her strong interpersonal and management skills enable her to motivate teams to perform at their peak. She was the first female chief executive officer of the St. Kitts, Nevis, and Anguilla National Bank, and is an advocate for the advancement of women and girls, and is a voice of the voiceless. Ms. Williams is a past president of the Business and Professional Women's Club of St. Kitts and the current regional coordinator for the Business and Professional Women's Clubs of North America and the Caribbean. And with all of those accolades, one of the most important things for me is that she is a great friend and a mentor, and it gives us great pleasure to introduce you to none other than Dawne Williams, who will be helping us to increase our financial health and build wealth. So welcome once again, Dawne, to this webinar for tonight.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for that introduction. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Happy New Year to all. And I will share my screen shortly. And start our session for this evening. Has everyone seen my screen?
Yes, we're seeing your screen.
Okay, good. Great. So this evening, we are going to speak about financial health, and wealth creation. I would prefer to do the presentation first and then take any questions after. It just makes for a smoother flow. So it's about managing your money. This is just a page to show you my clients and partners. Managing your money. Tonight, we're going to take a three-pronged approach. First, we're going to define financial management. Secondly, we're going to look at understanding your own role in managing your finances. And thirdly, I leave with some tips on becoming successful in managing your finances and creating wealth. So let's get right into it. First thing is, as human beings, we must live a life of purpose. We should not merely exist, but we should exist for a purpose. And I'm going to start with Dave's daily tip. Building wealth is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So discipline is the key ingredient. And as we know, a sprint is something you do in a quick time. A marathon takes much longer. And building wealth is akin to a marathon. So as you live your life of purpose and you start this marathon of building wealth, discipline is going to be one of the greatest ingredients that you can have. So to take us through tonight, we'll start with financial management. First, what is financial management? Like managing anything else, there are certain prerequisites. We must start by planning. We must start by organizing, directing, and controlling our financial activities. Then we must look at how we utilize the funds we earn. And then we must apply the general management principles to financial resources. So we don't just get money and spend it. We must plan, organize, direct, and control how we do that. If we want to be on a path to creating wealth. Let's talk a little about debt. Because we all have debt. There's some good debt and there's some bad debt. But everyone has the opportunity to choose how he or she spends what he or she earns. And the natural tendency is to spend as much as you can to own what you want. That's human being. That's how we think. The more we earn, the more we spend. And the realtors, retailers, so we know that. So what do? They play to this weakness and overwhelm us with invitations to treat. And before you know it, we are deep in debt. But the only thing we own are consumer items. But debt can be a form of slavery. And let's understand what we mean by that. If you have a debt, and if it's not properly managed, you can create havoc in your life. Because it's all well and good when everything is working as planned and you're earning as planned. But what would happen if you lose that job? Or if you got ill? Or if your health insurance, and most times you say, I'll be okay because I'm covered, I have health insurance. But what if you get ill and your health insurance does not cover your illness? Or for some other unknown reasons outside of illness, you must use up all your funds. So debt, especially unsecured consumer debt, is actually a form of slavery. It's a noose around your neck because you earn and you spend all you earn on these consumer items, expensive bags, expensive shoes, expensive clothes, things that only have value for a time, but they don't last forever. And so you build these debts up, and most times these debts are built up on your credit card. But each day the debt remains unpaid, interest charges pile up. And over time, it's easy to see how the unchecked use of credit can erode wealth and foreclose any opportunity you have to build wealth. Because it's so easy to pull your credit card and buy exactly what you want. Go on a cruise, do the things you really can't afford to do, but because you have the availability to do it, you do so. But if this is you, and if you have already fallen into debt, it's not too late to climb out. The first step in creating wealth is to live below your means. So the very first step to building wealth is to spend less than you make. Whenever you spend less than you make, there's always that buffer which you can invest. So that's your first step. Live below your means. Financially successful people live below their means, because financial success is usually the result of many, many, many years of self-control. So you are living below your means, and no matter what, you will stay below those means, and that extra disposable income you will put to good use to invest. And that self-control discipline involves living within or below your means. If every dollar you earn is spent, then there's very little hope for getting ahead. So you must always work on keeping your expenses lower than your income and save or invest the difference. And I often hear, as a financial services specialist, I always hear, but the check is so small, the income is so small, it's difficult to live within it. Truth be told, if you know what the income is, then you know what you have to spend. So live within your means of spending. Do not allow every increase in your income to mean an enhanced lifestyle. Too often, we know that an income increase is coming, so we start to spend it even before we earn it, in anticipation of receiving it. That's a no-no in creating wealth. Another tip in creating wealth is pay yourself first. What is that? Pay yourself first? I'm getting paid. What? Pay myself first? What is that? It's taking out that portion that you want to save or invest before you start spending the rest. So learning to pay yourself first is an important part of financial security. Direct a certain percentage of your income into a pension plan or a savings account before your salary is deposited into your account. So do a salary deduction. Send it to a different place, because once it gets caught up in your spending account, it will be spent. So put it away. Act as if you never earned it while you invest it in some plan, because this will avoid you having to constantly fight the temptation to spend every dollar. When you automatically save and make saving an unwavering part of your routine, it puts the twin forces of time and compounding interest on your side, because that portion that you save increases with every deposit you make. And what happens then is you're paying interest on interest on interest. So always look for a savings account that pays the best rate. Or if it's not a savings and it's some form of investment, ensure that you look for an investment that really pays the highest rate. Shop around. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Shop around and ensure that you get the best interest or dividend for your investment. Another key tip is forget keeping up with the Joneses. The Joneses know what they earn and what they can spend. You know what you earn and what you can spend. So don't keep your eyes on the Joneses and do as they do. Remember, we live in an age when it is as easy to access some of the trappings of wealth in our society, but it's difficult to actually afford them. And that's what credit cards do. They give you that false sense of your financial state because it creates credit for you. And so it's so easy to pull it and get things that you can't afford. So for example, you're buying a new car, a big house, designer bags, and clothes that you think might impress others. But these goods are expensive and they often mask high debt and a dangerous relationship with credit. We need to avoid that. Yes, we might need a car, but buy a car that we can afford. We might need a house. Yes, but let us buy one that we can afford. Yes, we need handbags, but let us buy what we can afford. And the clothes that we wear, sometimes we wear clothes thinking that we're impressing others with the name brand. But these goods are expensive. So if we can't afford them, let us not just pull the credit card to get them. Let us live within our means. Do not confuse easy access to credit with real wealth. Real wealth is usually the product of responsible spending, maximizing the value of every dollar, and trading glamour for modesty and security. It's very important for us to be responsible when spending, and that we get the best value for the dollars we make. Sometimes we have to trade glamour for modesty and security. So as we go through our financial planning, we have to remember that we must save aggressively at an early age and watch your savings grow over time. There are those who think that you must save big. You don't have to. If you decide you're going to put away $50 a month, it's not much, but it's $600 a year. And then it's $1,200 in 2 years. And as you add interest, you see how it adds up. So save, and if you start young, it's amazing. I remember when my niece and nephew were born and my son, I started saving small amount for them on their little savers. And when they turned 18, they were amazed at what they had in their savings accounts. So saving is a long-term proposition. No matter how modest the amount, start savings habit early. It pays off. A broader time horizon means more years to one, benefit from that compounding interest And 2, refine your investment style. Because if you start with a savings account and it gets to a certain point, then you need to use that savings to invest. So you refine your investment style after building up your savings over time. Set clear financial goals. You can have very broad financial goals. So for example, you might say, I want to buy a house. I want to save for retirement. I want to keep paying our bills. I don't want to have them backing up. These are all financial goals. But to succeed financially, you must set specific goals, not broad goals. Buy a house. What type of house? It's fine to shoot for buying a house, but what type of house suits your income and your lifestyle? What can you afford? That is the key. What can you afford? What will make you comfortable so you can continue to still live, continue to eat, continue to enjoy life, and still have a roof over your head? What is the size of the down payment that would leave you with a comfortable mortgage? Because remember, it is long term. You're talking about anywhere from 15 to 30 years. And if you have a recurring commitment for a mortgage each month, it must leave you comfortable thereafter to afford other things in life. So the answer to these questions will help you to make better defined goals that in turn can motivate you and help you to make better informed financial decisions. Do not believe everything you hear about money. We are living in an age where we have all these get-rich-quick schemes. Please avoid them because they make you rich one day and a pauper not soon after. Not for long, you will remain rich. Ignore people who tell you that purchasing the nicest clothes and the flashiest cars and phones, etc., will make you rich, happy, and admired. Instead, learn from the experiences of those who have created wealth. Because those who have created wealth will tell you a very different story. They never have the nicest clothes. They never have the flashiest cars. They don't walk around with the latest phones because they realize that that's not what creates wealth for them. They do what they do in moderation, and we can learn from them. So to rise above the financial chaos, become a student of personal finance and critically assess the information that's at your fingertips. We are living in an age where we can get any type of financial advice we want. It's you Google this, you Google that. Make good use of the information that puts you on the right path. Set your own spending limits and stick to them. I said earlier in life, there is no shortage of companies trying to get you to spend, from credit card lenders to financial institutions steering you toward the largest mortgage for which you qualify. Don't let these companies set your personal spending ceiling. Instead, decide for yourself what you can afford, what you're comfortable with, and what your priorities are. Remember, you are in charge of making your money, and you should decide how it gets used. You work hard for it. Don't allow anyone else to spend it for you. I want to leave you with this. If you don't take care of your money won't take care of you. Remember, our working life is not forever. So when we can work, let us work to take care of those days when we can't. But if we don't take care of our money won't ever take care of us. Because money grows on skills, not trees. And these two powerful statements were made by the strategist, Mac Duke. Life is more than just work. So yes, we've talked a lot about money, but there are other things that give us real satisfaction and help us to think carefully about how we spend and invest. So let us think how we will give back, because not everything is measured in dollars and cents. For me, this is one means of my giving back, sharing the wealth of experience that I've garnered over the years to help others to create wealth. Volunteer your time to a club, an organization, or assist a child in need. There's so many children, especially now that they're doing classes online, whose parents can't help them. Are you reaching out? Because that too will help you to create that atmosphere of giving back, which is all a part of financial management. So you don't always have to give in dollars and cents. You give of your time. Get involved in community work. Exercise, very important. I'm up 5 every morning on the road. It clears your brain. It gives you thinking time. And finally, never give up on learning. There's always an opportunity in life to learn, so do continuous development. Live a life of purpose. The key to building wealth is to spend less than what you earn and invest the difference. Spend less than what you earn and invest the difference. Be financially savvy. Remember, you will reap what you sow. So start saving today and watch your money grow. I'm summarizing now. Work on planning, organizing, directing, and controlling your financial activities in such a way as to create wealth. Be extremely careful how you use the funds you earn. Always apply general management principles to your financial resources, remembering that your financier will always be there to provide the support you need. Thank you so much for your time. And I just want to see you with your arms stretched out with dollars all around as you create wealth. I will now stop and take any questions or comments you may have. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Dawne. Thank you so much for such a powerful presentation. Really, really appreciate it as we build ourselves, and I'm pretty sure each and every person who's here this evening has also taken on board what you shared. So very timely, Dawne, at the beginning of a new year, because as we know, coming out of December, and persons are, wanting to share that love and, get gifts for persons that they care so much for, that they forget sometimes that January is a long stretch and then bills come around. But, listening to you just a while ago, Dawne, was so very refreshing and so very important. And, you said such key nuggets. And I just wanted to actually ask you, because I know you have many years of experience in banking and financial management. But I want to ask you a question, and then of course the floor is open to others who may have questions. Based on the advice you've given, was there at any time that you yourself, Dawne, may have messed up somewhere, or you had made your mistakes and say, okay, I learned and this is where I'm at today? If you don't mind sharing.
Sure, I'll share. I would honestly tell you no. And I guess that's because I actually started in the financial services at a very young age. And one of the things I did very well at school was accounts. And so I understood from early what income and what expenses were and what the difference was. And then from there, I went to the financial services sector. So the honest answer to that, boy, is no. And I think that is why I retired from active employment very early. I took early retirement like 10 years prior to the actual retirement date. And that is because what I say here today, I practiced. And I think I was fortunate to grow up in a home with a mom who did just that. So short answer, long answer is really no. I never messed up. I always, always lived below my means. And I never ever tried to keep up with the Joneses, not even now. I set my own goals and I stay within those goals. And it's never because somebody else has it. And I trained my son the same way, and the little ones growing up, I'm training them the same way. So, yeah.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that, Dawne. And, listening to you stating that, it goes to show how that has passed on from generation, because of how, what you've grown up in that household and seeing what your mom did. And now you are here where your mom passed it on to your son, and then you have your grandchildren, and you're passing it on. So that's really powerful, because in that way, it really helps to grow that stability, financial stability, but also that security and confidence, and making sure that you take care of your finances and doing it the correct way. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Ladies and gentlemen, you are right now in a position where you can ask Dawne any question that you may have based on the presentation that she just shared with us. So if you do have a question, feel free. You can type it either in the chat, or you can, put your hand up virtually here and then unmute yourself to ask Dawne a question. So the floor is yours, ladies and gentlemen, whoever would like to go after I mute my mic. I see there is a comment that came in, Dawne, from Linda Lake, that stated great advice from you.
Yes, thanks, Linda. Linda, I want to see your face.
Dawne, you brought up a very important point, and that is parenting. And we have a number of parents these days who forget, the importance of training children in financial management and just allow them to do anything. As a parent, Dawne, and I know you said you did some significant things with your son, but what kind of advice can you give to parents on how they can train their children in financial management?
All right, thanks. Well, first I would say whenever you give your kids allowances, right? Well, mine didn't get an allowance until he was old enough to manage funds. But the first lesson in financial management for kids is to say no at times. They don't always get what they want, whether or not you could afford it. So lesson number one, you don't get everything that you ask for. Lesson number 2 is that if there is something you need, you don't just go for the first option. You actually look around and decide, okay, let's look at the cost. Let's look at the quality. Let us decide what we'll buy. Is it because are we going to spend more for a better quality or less for a lower quality? What do we need it for, etc. And I've always said to Garth, mommy earns a salary. And so whatever we do, we have to live within that salary. Anything outside of that salary, we must save for. So we set goals. And one example would be, he really wanted to go to Disney World. Every child wants to go to Disney World. The truth is, I could have afforded to take him to Disney World at any time. But I said to him, okay, here is how you earn your right to Disney World. If you got 3 A's, and not because I knew he could do it, I said, if you get 3 A's, that's your passage to Disney World this summer. So he came home first term, and it was the A, he was very happy. The second term, it was the A, he was very happy. The third term, he ran down the steps to meet me with his record, with his report in hand, and he said, Disney World, here I come. It shows him that you don't just get to Disney World because you want to go to Disney World. You get to Disney World because you earn a trip to Disney World. So I think, and those, as simple as they sound, they are actually lessons in financial management. Because it's saying to you, don't just get what you want, because what you want costs money. And in order to do it, 1, we have to prepare for it. And 2, there are things that you must do to earn the right to it. And so that continued. And then as he got older and started to get his allowance, he knew what he needed to do with this allowance. And I would tell you, he was always saving from his allowance. And then at age 16, he had a job in the bank. We had some filing to do, so we brought in these 16-year-olds, children, all children of parents working there. And he got his first paycheck. And he realized, oh my God, it's not a whole lot of money. We were going away that summer. And he was saying, but mommy, when I change this to US, I can't buy anything with this. So he got a good appreciation at an early age that money is not infinite and it's finite, and that there's a cap. And so when you spend it, you need to ensure that you don't spend it all at one time, or else you won't get the things you need. And so he started, and then, I remember when he was graduating, he went to Puerto Rico with some of his friends, and he budgeted, and I gave him some extra. He brought the extra back because he said, well, mommy, they had these on sale. So I bought those instead, and then he went off to university. He has never once, trust me, I made him co-signer on a gold card I had at that time. He never once went over his budget. Never, ever once. So, he grew up that way. And think parents, I find too often as parents, we feel like we have to give kids what we didn't have. And so we put ourselves in additional expenses to ensure that they have what they want and not what they need. But those are all lessons. So they grow up thinking that I can get whatever I want. And so they get a credit card early, and they do the same things that they are accustomed to do. So I would say it starts by those little things, and those are all steps in financial management.
Wow, powerful, Dawne. Really appreciate that. And I know that there are parents here with us this evening, because I recognize a few names that are from parents. So I really thank those parents for being here. And I'm pretty sure they may have been nodding their heads and saying, Dawne, absolutely, you're speaking the gospel truth. Even though I love my son and my daughter so much, but I had to, be at those times where I help them to understand the importance of managing finances, and also what it is to save and to work for what you would want in life. I would also like at this time to acknowledge with us this evening Reverend Patmore Henry, who's the superintendent of the Methodist Church here on St. Martin. So we thank him for being with us this evening. And talking about the Reverend Henry, I see he has raised his hand. He has a question. Reverend Patmore Henry, you have the floor.
Good evening. I do not have a question so necessarily, and I just wish to commend Dawne for the contribution she gave tonight. And I could attest that what she has spoken, she has lived, as I know her personally, and also that the nuggets that she has shared certainly are most valuable for our young people today, as we are faced with so many challenges. And I trust and pray that the lessons that she has shared with us will certainly resonate with all of us. Thank you, Dawne, and God bless you.
Thank you, Reverend Patmore, and thanks for coming. I'm longing to see you. Actually, my son my son was thinking that maybe we should come to St. Martin for Easter. So
you're always welcome.
Oh no, I'll see. Yeah.
Wonderful,
Okay.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Reverend Patmore Henry, for your contribution. And of course, the floor is open for any other questions to Dawne before we just switch over to our second guest speaker on this evening's Masterclass webinar. So the floor is open to those who would like to ask any question to Dawne. Such a brilliant presentation, Dawne. Absolutely. You know, you've made me think again about reassessing things in a new year on what is very important. And I love the way how you said at the beginning, I'm just going to just pull it up here for myself so I don't just say something out of the clear blue. Spend less than what you earn and invest the difference. That's powerful. Wow. You know, not many people think about that, huh? Because it's that impulse reaction or feeling, I need that. But is it really something that you need at a moment, or is it more of, I want that? So that's really powerful. I really appreciate that. And I think there's some other person stating here, Dawne, yes, coming in. Yes, that's truly a gem of advice. So many persons are concurring with what you shared. So going once. Oh, there's another hand raised. Let's see whose hand is that. So let's have a look. So
no, that was a clap. That was
okay.
Oh, that's a clap.
Okay.
And if Reverend Henry, if you could lower your hand if you don't have another statement.
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Great. So thank you so much, Dawne. We really appreciate that very powerful and timely information. There's another question coming in from Kathleen Francis. You have the floor, Mrs. Kathleen Francis.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dawne, for that very impressive, articulate presentation. I want to make a quick comment. There's an Antiguan proverb that says, "No hang your kataku, where you can't reach them." But I noticed that this is something that we do a lot, especially in the Caribbean. Having been involved with the Chamber of Commerce, many times I've dealt with clients who said that, you know, the business is good, we're doing well. But when I talk to them, I realize they're talking about turnover and not profit.
Yeah.
And so they get themselves in a lot of trouble. Could you address that briefly so that all of us will realize there's a difference between profit and turnover?
Certainly, and thanks, Mr. Francis. I know he's saying Kathleen, but I realize it's Mr. Francis. Yeah, that is so true. So many business people don't understand the difference between turnover and profit. So what is turnover? Turnover is really the number of sales that you make, the income that you make from sales, and it's pure. However, out of that income are your expenses. So if you turn over $50,000 in income and your expenses are $55,000, you're actually making a loss.
Right.
But so often people just look at what is coming in. They see that cash flow in as profit, and they don't understand that out of that, you must take your expenses. And in my line of work as a banker, I came across that so many times. I remember there was this young hairdresser I was trying to put on a path. And she worked very hard all year's night. And she turned over like almost $30,000. And she left her store and she went down to Little Switzerland. And she spent most of it on a bracelet, right? And she came the Monday and she was saying, I did so well. I treated myself. And I said, but back up. Remember you said you work late, so you had the electricity on, you had a lot of clients, so you spent more on water, more on the products, more, and she did not think of that. As far as she's concerned, she had $30,000 in her pocket, so she can spend 20. She can spend 20. And so, yes, one of the things we always have to tell our clients that turnover is just the income that you get. But until you take the expenses out, you don't know whether you've done well or not. So that's a key point, Mr. Francis, and thanks for raising that. And that's so true, especially when we have small business entrepreneurs. The corporate clients do that well because they have accountants that guide them, etc. But I find a lot of the sole proprietorship, they see that turnover as income, the mechanics, etc. And then they forget they have to buy products, they have to pay the other workmen, etc. So it's not just the turnover, but it's the turnover less the expenses that tells you whether your business is doing well or not.
Thank you for that very powerful and very important question, Mr. Oswald Francis, and thank you for answering that, Dawne Williams. Appreciate it so much. Really great session. And as it is, we also want to acknowledge one of our Youth Wing members, who is the president of our Youth Wing, Y2X, Jonathan Raymond, who is on the northern side of St. Martin. So we thank you also for being here as a young person, Jonathan, representing our Youth Wing. And at this point in time, we would like to definitely thank you again, Dawne, for your invaluable information that you shared with us this evening as we prepare for our second speaker, Sabina Asadova, who is no stranger to our wealth and, I would say, wealth and wellness health seminars. And she is with us live from out of the USA. So we're just going to introduce her, and you're going to hear from this wonderful lady, Sabina Asadova.
Okay.
So Sabina Asadova is a leading skilled woman recognized by the National Association of Professional Women as Woman of the Year 2012-2013. She's also past awardee as Businesswoman of the Year by Open Heart Ministry, a member of the NAPW. She received her PhD in physics from Baku State University, her Bachelor of Arts degree from State Economy Business University, and her Bachelor of Science when she finished Medical School of Nursing. While pursuing her higher education in 1996, Sabina worked as an administrative assistant at the Consular Department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Azerbaijan Republic. She is the CEO of Global Health to Wealth Solutions and a certified holistic health coach. We once again welcome Sabina Asadova live from out of the USA with us this evening, and we thank you for being here, Sabina. The floor is yours. Welcome to our masterclass this evening.
Welcome, Sabina.
I believe we're still connected. Sabina, you may unmute yourself. Okay, there we go.
Are you there, Sabina?
I think it's just a little bit of a delay. But once again, as we are connecting with Sabina on the other end, Dawne, I have one final question for you, and that is, I know that we are at this time, ever since last year, going through some challenging times. As we know, financially, there's COVID and all that that is happening. And sometimes persons may feel like, well, there's so much happening, I may not have enough to save. People might get anxious, etc. Can you just share something that may be reassuring to the persons who are here with us this evening on how they can navigate their finances during this time that we're in?
All right, Roy, the time we're in is unprecedented. And I think lots of learning will be coming out of this time, because those who actually saved for that rainy day and had something put aside are faring okay. They're turning to it and they're getting anxious because it's running out. And I think that is why the COVID has not gone away, because we continue to keep our gateways open, because there are so many persons who depend on our gateways being open to earn. And we've learned to do with a lot less. And we've learned to appreciate more what we have. So I've heard people saying, I won't ever go back to this store. COVID has taught me that I can shop in my closet, right? I've heard people say that, I have now learned what is important to me, and I realize that I can eat less and still be very healthy. So I think what this has done is reshape how people think and how people do things. And so I think that whilst this is a time that we prefer would end shortly, there were lots of lessons learned in this period, and people have made life-changing decisions as a result, including financial decisions.
Yeah, I pretty appreciate that, Dawn. Absolutely well answered, because it is a period in time that we're in that has really taught many of us lessons. And, it's some people might be anxious, some people might, think that, hey, what is the world turning to, and may really become depressed. But it is a very important learning period, and I really appreciate what you shared. And we can only go stronger from a time like this that we're in, and really put things in place financially. Because as one of our business associates stated during Friday evenings that we have with it connected to them in the States, money has not left the planet. You may have COVID, you may have whatever's happening, but money is still here because you still had to use money to pay the bills this month. So money has not left the planet. I appreciate that.
And what's so interesting, Dawn, is that in reference to what Roy said, we have people who are making billions more than they made.
Right.
I was just about
in the previous time.
The money is still there, but how is it shared is not equitable. And there are some persons who are really doing well, extremely well as a result of the pandemic, while others are becoming paupers. Really.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Thank you, Dawn. And over to Sabina. Good evening, Sabina, and welcome. I'm sure now you're able to connect with us.
Yes.
Wonderful. There you are.
Can you guys hear me well?
Yes, we can. Thank
welcome.
you. Thanks for taking a break from your birthday party. Thanks.
Absolutely. Well, it's awesome. I'm very grateful to be with you guys. It was very interesting information and now it's my turn to step in and share with our audience amazing opportunities that truly can bring and answer some prayers tonight. So before we'll start, I truly would like to share that in order for us just to talk about the wealth we need to understand the definition of the wealth and definition of the money, because as a believer, and especially with the background that I had, I came from Muslim background coming to Christ, and that's totally transferred my whole life. And one of the amazing revelation and understandings through the Bible, I understand that God promised us the wealth. And he said that in Deuteronomy that he gives us the power to make a wealth. So the wealth, what I truly would like to focus on, because money is a man-made tool to access the purpose of God. But in order for us to get God's blessings, we need to focus on wealth. And the wealth is something that you can inherit and you can pass on to your family, to your kids. And this is something that is truly biblical. And I know exactly that by my own experience, that whenever you follow your heart, you follow the promise of God, you will get the provision. So that's kind of like a quick spiritual aspect of my talk, but I represent amazing company, Longevity. And I'm very excited to share my own experience and the opportunities that we hold for everyone who is willing to change their life. I'm excited because my personal testimonial and my personal experience showed that it works. And I've been with this company for more than 5 years now. And the reason why I would love to share that, because the time that we're living in, it's, I believe everyone will agree with me, very unsteady, very unpredictable, very scary, I would say, if you don't have fully, how to say that's personal relationship with God. But God did not give us the spirit of fear. He gave us the life with abundance. And in order for us to implement and fulfill all the promises that God gave us, we need to open our hearts and see the directions that God is leading us to. One of the days I was led to Longevity. And the company that I would like to share with you about was established 25 years ago here in the United States. And why I'm bringing that as an example, because in our days, it's so hard to be in the right place on the right time. Because with all these different changes in technology, the fast-growing Bitcoins and fast-growing the new approaches to the business, it's not that easy to understand where you belong. And it's not that easy to find the answer, what can you do for yourself, for your family to increase your income? But what I like to say that to be among the people that are have the biggest interest in your success, I think that's the rightest way of leading yourself, to find the mentors that would be totally, how to say that, supporting you without any extra investments and opening up the doors to help you to find yourself and your talents. That's what we're going to talk about. So the industry that I would like to start with, it's health and wellness. As you understand, especially with the pandemic, everyone comes to realization that our biggest wealth is our health. And you don't have to be a medical professional. You don't have to be going through the medical school in our days to realize that if you're sick, if you preoccupied in your mind with your pain and some body aches, you won't be able fully 100% working, how to say that, and establishing your wealth. So as a company, we are health and wealth industry, and the specialists and experts are saying that it's going to be more than $600 billion industry. So right now we are above a couple of $billions. So it's very, I would say, amazing, growing industry that should bring your attention for the growth. And as an industry, what we do have as an opportunity, let's say it's a direct sale company, and we do have the answer for many, many needs. We're not talking about only health and wellness. We do have multiple opportunities that we will be sharing tonight. I would like to start with the first one. As a great opportunity for someone who lost a job, or let's say not happy with the job they do, or they don't like their profession, as an opportunity to step into the health and wellness. We do have amazing certification program that we call holistic health coaching. And it's very affordable program in United States that you're getting the certified as a holistic health coach. You're getting phenomenal support, and the team that works together with you to help you, first of all, go through the units and education. Then we'll celebrate your graduation, and then, of course, launching your own personal business. As you know, holistic health coaching and the coaching systems right now is very popular. But our program is phenomenal and different because it's very affordable, number one. Second of all, is knowledge that you will get directly from the top holistic doctors. And you will have an opportunity to have weekly conversation with them totally free as a part of your continuous education. Plus, we do help with developing the business plan. And based on that business plan, and if you will be fully dedicating 100% of your time, you can develop the income up to $90,000 a month through this program. And this is what I personally am aiming to, and that would be the day when I will be retired as a registered nurse from the hospital. That's what I'm looking for. And phenomenal aspect is the lives that you would be touched. First of all, you will be improving your own health. You will be improving your own wealth, and you will change your mindset. You will be learning so much, and it's not that hard, believe me, because of that support and knowledge we have. And that is a phenomenal program, and I'm very proud to say that Dr. Nicole Francis is part of this amazing network with holistic health coaching, and she's very successful. So basically, if you would be interested in that, we can always provide additional information. And guess what? You will be among us as a part of us, as a part of our team. So we will be very happy to have you. And at the same time, I would like to tell that as a direct sale company, we can address many other interests. Let's say banking system. As a services through the longevity, we do have a phenomenal program. Let's say for people who are interested to function not on island, but in United States, and thanks God for the technology, we can use the internet. We do have opportunity to become a loan officer without having your personal licensing or the certification, because as a part of the longevity collaboration with the bank, just your ID number would be enough for you to become a loan officer through the bank. And if you would be interested to get the commissions, it's up to good 5 to 10% of the commissions from the deal. You can go through the training, and you would be able to share this opportunity with small businesses, big businesses, whoever needs a loan. The only thing that program works only on the United States. So that's why you can be anywhere in the world, but the clients has to be through the United States. So this is another opportunity that we have. And plus, the part of our services, we do have a phenomenal life insurance and the health insurance. And so far, it's also working on United States territory. But it should not stop you of thinking big, because thanks for the internet networking and Facebook and other social medias, there is no limits on your opportunities to reach out and find the clients in United States. It's a huge program. Let's say, for example, I will just bring up the example, one of my team member that is a teacher at high school and their average income is only 50 to 60,000 a year. So what she did as a part-time through the longevity, she started to send out the information as she's been learned about opportunity to get approval for the loan to up to $500,000 or $1 million through the small businesses. And she sent out 100 invitation, and she got 10 businesses returning back with requests to fill out the application. The best part of it, it takes only 24 hours, max 48 hours for the applications through the businesses to be approved by the bank. So it's very convenient. Everything is online. And as soon as she reached out to those 10 businesses, she got 2 deals out of it. So one company, it's a pharmacy, was proven for $250,000 loan. And another one was smaller, and they got approved for $100,000. And guess what? She made up to $8,000 commission out of those 2 deals. And she made it in less than 2 weeks. So that's kind of the opportunity in longevity services we have for the people who truly would like to, or people who see themselves in this, let's say, field. And again, I know that I have a short time, but I would like to cover so much. So talking about those opportunities with longevity, we're approaching many, many different age category. So because everything is online, we can reach out anyone in the world, especially with our health and wellness program. Plus, we do have an opportunity for a woman or man who is, let's say, feeling a passion to be in, I would say, jewelry or fashion industry. We do have a whole line of the jewelry that can be a part of it. And again, because of the direct sale, you can make money on the commission, you can make money on sharing the opportunities. I won't be able to cover all of this in just a short conversation, but I'm giving you the highlights and the options to consider to change your life for better. Because with the strong company that been on the market for 25 years and getting, and it's part of the 20 top direct sales companies in the world, first of all, you have a very, very strong foundation with the support and resources. And that's what matters. And then your own talent and your education can kick in. And as a team player, you can reach whatever you feel or you need for yourself and for your family. Another opportunity that we truly would like to underline today, it's, let's say, the opportunity to talk about the detoxification or to talk about the home goods. It's part of the longevity line, let's say cleaning supplies for the house based on essential oils. And that can be totally different additional opportunity or additional line of your own business. It doesn't mean that you have to pick and choose one. You can actually join and figure out later what would be a part of your heart. What do you feel yourself doing? But to have that all under one roof is phenomenal. is phenomenal. And when we're talking about wealth, what you build today, it's continuously going to build because you're not losing your business. It's 1099 by tax reduction in United States. I don't know if we will have someone listening from the States. That's a phenomenal opportunity for the tax write-off. We can talk about it if you have a questions. I'm more than happy to address that. But in addition, for the services, or let's say the opportunities that the Youngevity has, I am excited to say that just on one line, we do have a company through Australia that is part of the Youngevity. We do have spices. And I have a lady who is turning into the YouTube star because she's using our spices to cook. And she puts that on YouTube, and she getting her orders through her videos where she explains how to combine, let's say, her steaks with those spices. And the differences in the spices, I think the quality, because Australia is the only country that do not allow to add any chemicals or the preservatives into the food. And just to using high quality product and adding your charisma and adding your ability to cook, you can turn that into the business. So it's also the opportunity in Youngevity. As a part of it, I'm just trying not to miss anything. We do have a phenomenal, let's say, opportunity for the people who is in sports, or let's say they're coaches or trainers, because we do have an amazing education and amazing product line that helps people, let's say, to build muscles or to lose weight or to improve their health. So I know many coaches that was like working for someone in the facility as a trainers, turned on earning or building their own studios, own businesses, because with all the resources that we provide, with all those big names that we have in a company that were like a top muscle builders in United States, where you can reach out directly to them and even have them endorse your own business. So we're talking about a very strong business network with the people that been in a company for 25 years, build their wealth. And phenomenal part of being a part of our team is what you do today will reflect your future. And what you build today, you can pass it on to your children. And I have 19-year-old daughter, and I am building for her the business, and she's not even involved. Eventually, when she will get her degree, she will have already established business to run. So that's what I'm excited about as a single mom. I am building some strong foundation, not only for myself and for my future, but at the same time, the business that I can pass it on to my grandchildren or maybe great-grandchildren. So that's the wealth that is truly I'm excited to share tonight. And somehow I lost my picture.
You can go ahead.
Okay. Sorry about that. And truly what I would like to add more as opportunities, because our company, well, it's hard to cover everything because we have an extensive product selection. And what I'm excited about that it's not only environmentally and safe, but it's a health cautions too. So basically, what else we can cover? Oh, one more opportunity truly that I don't want to miss is the beauty industry. We have a phenomenal mineral-based makeup line and the skincare line. And one of our partner in the Youngevity is the lady, she's African-American, and she developed phenomenal line for the hair treatment and for skincare, for the I personally love this, the body butter that she developed with phenomenal smells and senses. So skincare industry is big, and it's part of the longevity too. So I know many people who passionate about it, and they getting their success through that particular line. And it's phenomenal results. You can see that on my face. Well, I can't put my camera back on somehow, but I think, oh, I am back. So I'm using all the longevity makeup right now. And as you see, it's truly effective. And that is one of the opportunities too. And I am recalling one more to share with you. We do have a phenomenal nail line. We do have all this fancy wraps, all this clips on, all this gel cover for your nails like this. And those are all from longevity, phenomenal prices that you won't find on the market. But if someone is, let's say, passionate about it, they can get so much benefit of using it. So I would definitely suggest to consider that as one of the opportunity. And another opportunity we have for the people who are passionate about the pictures, photography, and who truly would like to memorize the events, because we have phenomenal platform, very famous in United States. They were a separate company, but they came under the umbrella of the longevity. It's a heritage makers. And it's also a business opportunity. So if you would like to help people to arrange their pictures to phenomenal album with all this, I would say, decoration and all this phenomenal opportunities just to do the digital arrangement. And the company will help you to print out those books. We have multiple opportunities to do the pictures on the pillows or cups or t-shirts, and tons of the ways of, let's say, express your talents. So please keep that in mind too. And and at the same time, as a part of the whole team, we do have a huge travel discounts, and that can be a business opportunity too. So as a network, we do have phenomenal prices for travel, for the hotel prices, for the travel, for all the travel industry. As you hear, it's a lot. So that's why I'm so excited that it doesn't matter what your, let's say, educational background is, you can just jump in and figure out where you can implement your gifts. And again, how fast you will grow your business, it will be up onto you. But what we can definitely promise and definitely provide is resources, education, support, a lot of love and prayers. And as a team, we're growing together. So that's what is a part of it. And one more thing I would like to add for pet lovers. That's my favorite. For the pet lovers, we do have a phenomenal also opportunity. And I know the lady, let's say from my team, she's in Bahamas. She actually opened up her small store for pet lovers. And she's using all those phenomenal treats and food and minerals and the vitamins for the dogs and cats that we have in longevity. And the reason why we do have that, because our founder loves the animals, and he developed the amazing line that truly help to sustain your health of your pets and let them live longer than normal pets will. And it's phenomenal. And for those of us who loves the pets, you would enjoy that. Even if you don't want to turn that into business, as a part of being in longevity, you have access to the wholesale prices, and you can just treat your pet with those traits. I believe I did cover most of them. I might kind of not. Nicole, do you remember it? Did I miss anything?
Well, you did a phenomenal job, but for sure, there's also agriculture, minerals.
Right.
For
Thank you for reminding me that. Absolutely. The agriculture is a phenomenal part of it because it's like a biggest heart that we have for the soil. Because as you know, all those nutrients and the minerals we're supposed to get from the soil through your vegetables and fruits to your body. And unfortunately, when we don't have an appropriate approach to the soil, we ended up to the situation that we're in right now. Because the soil is so depleted, we are not getting those minerals and nutrients that God designed for our body. And it brings us to be deficient. And our body develops the symptoms and ended up having a disease. So our biggest foundation was the longevity. It's a health and wellness. So the health starts for the people who are in agriculture. You would be amazed how much education you can get and understand how to approach your garden, even if you're not a big farmer, your personal garden. Or if you're a big farmer, how to approach your land. And we do have a phenomenal resources and products that can turn your soil into amazing field that will be bringing a big, healthy, nutrient-filled crops. We actually had even the conversation with the Minister of the Health in Bahamas, and they were very interested. It's just because of the COVID, we kind of put that all on hold because we actually were able to reach out on the governmental level and bring the knowledge, and they got phenomenal attention. So if you are there and you do have a farm or you have a passion to work with the soil and get bigger crops, we can educate you how to do that right and what nutrients you need to put in to get your crops, especially with the good weather, not only once a year. And yeah, that's a huge, huge part of the longevity. And thank you for reminding me that. So, and again,
CBD line as well.
Say that again.
The CBD.
Right. Thank you. So in addition to the wealth and health wellness, what I am very, very proud about it, we are up to date. So as you know, it's a huge industry with the hemp oil, and we call it a CBD oil, that truly improves the internal condition of the body, helps to reduce the pain, helps to reduce the inflammation, helps to improve the brain function. And it helps with many cases, let's say if someone has depression or mental health issues, the CBD studies show that it's phenomenal, effective on your body. So what Longevity did, we do have absolutely a line of the CBD products. My favorite is CBD coffee. I don't know if you ever heard that, but it's very tasty. So you're kind of killing two things in one. We have organic coffee that comes actually from, coffee industry. We'll get to it in a minute. We have coffee that infused with the CBD oil. So you're not only enjoying your coffee, but at the same time, getting all the benefits of the CBD oil to your body. And we do have tons of other products that you can implement topically or internally. And that can be a huge lucrative business too, because we're in a lucky spot right now. You don't have to talk too much about the benefits of being healthy. After the pandemic, everyone is realizing the value of being healthy, the value of having a strong immune system. And as an additional opportunity, I truly would like to underline our coffee line. Well, the Longevity as an organization do have their own land in Nicaragua. And a phenomenal part is with every cup of coffee that you use through the longevity, you're supporting that villages and the people who are actually working on our field. So it's phenomenal opportunity for a person who truly would like to get into the coffee business. And you know, by the statistic, that coffee is #1 drink in the world, and it's very popular. And every company has a coffee machine. So why not to sell them longevity coffee? Because the price that you would see as a wholesale, it will be phenomenal, and you can make a lot of commission on that. The variety of the coffees we have, it's phenomenal. We do have a K-cups, we do have a normal grounded coffee. And the best part of it, that it's organic, that it doesn't have any preservatives, and you getting that without the third party. So basically directly from the field, you getting that on your hands. And the coffee industry is big, and a lot of experts who tried our coffee was totally blown away by the taste. And since I am in longevity, I am not using any other coffee. I forgot about what the Starbucks is. So I would definitely bring that to your attention, that it's also amazing opportunity that you can consider as a startup for the business. And again, we do have all the marketing materials, we do have all the support, we do have all the team support that we can provide to you. So, and plus, I'm just trying to kind of go through my list to see what other options we have. And
Wow, Sabina, as I'm listening to you there and hearing all that longevity offers, you know, in a time like this, definitely no one cannot say that there is nothing out there for one to be able to earn an income and be creative and be able to provide for his or her family or even for themselves. Because the list of things that you mentioned a while ago, from travel, from pet lovers, with the opportunity, like one of your colleagues started her own, you know, little shop as such, the nail line, the skincare treatment. I know there are so many persons here in the island that is into skincare, you know, doing that as a business. That will be amazing. The agriculture aspect, as you stated, environmental safe aspects of the production, the products. And moreover, being a health coach. So very important right now to be able to help others to improve their health. So this is an amazing opportunity. And I just want to know from persons who are here this evening and hearing what you shared a while ago, if there are any questions that you may have for Sabina, because I'm super excited on what I heard. So I'm going to leave the floor open. You can raise your hand as you've done before when you had your questions for Dawne. And Sabina will be more than happy to answer your question. So I'm looking around to see if I see any virtual hand that is raised, and or you may type your question in the chat box. So the floor is open for persons who may have a question for Sabina. I see Jonathan. Okay, Jonathan of Y2X or Youth Wing. Jonathan, you have the floor. You may ask Sabina your question.
Pleasant good night to each and every one of you all. Thank you, Dr. Mr. Roy Cotton Jr. and my mother, Dr. Erna Mae Cotton Francis. How you all doing? My question to Miss Sabina Asadova. How you doing, my dear?
I'm very good, thank you.
That's wonderful. My question for you is, do you have an encouragement for young entrepreneurs, including myself, and future entrepreneurship on business and growth? Because a lot of entrepreneurs really has that will and that desire to be in entrepreneurship, to to win marketing and do the best you want to do, and of course include make money. So what is your encouragement on that for a youngster or for a young entrepreneurship?
Absolutely. I don't think that there is any age limit for the people who truly would like to start the business. I would say before you jump into any business, consider to check two things. First of all, the company that you're trying to join with. Check the background of the company, make sure that it's stable, make sure that you can trust the company and the product that you would be representing. And as a hint, I would say just follow your heart, because whenever you solve someone's problem, the blessings are coming back to you. So we are on this earth by God to solve the problem. And when we do that a kingdom way, we truly are answered for someone's prayer. Believe me, God will provide. And as a young entrepreneurs, the only challenge that I see when I talk to younger generation, they do have a microwave mentality. They truly would like everything be like this.
Exactly.
And that's the biggest problem. We need to understand that everything grows by stages. By investing into your knowledge, investing into your understanding, you're growing. Yes, it can be fast. Believe me, I made my car commission only in 3 months. Even though everyone was telling me that you're immigrant, you don't have anyone in the United States, you don't have any connections, you would fail. But my personal experience showed that if you truly 100% dedicating into your business and truly following your mentors and truly, first of all, educating yourself, because if you would not change your mindset and you won't follow for what the mentors are saying, you won't get the different results. You would stay at the beginning stage of your life. That's why what I am excited about to share my personal experience, that when you are among people that already reached in their life the success, and they're coming as a mentors to share with you totally free. They're sharing their passion, they're sharing your education, they're supporting you, they're filling you with the empowerment, they're filling you with the belief in yourself. And if someone can believe in you at the beginning of your steps, you can turn the world around. That's what I personally found, that when my mentor told me that I don't care where you came from, I don't care that you're a single mom and went through the nasty divorce, I don't care that you almost like filed the bankruptcy, I believe in your ability to raise up. And it took me only 3 months to achieve the bonus for the car, which we have. And I got my first car paid off by the company. So that's what I'm talking about as an encouragement. Just think who you would be among with, what their belief level, if they're truly with God. This is for me personally, I'm not making a business with the people who are not spiritual, who are not dedicating their success to God. I truly believe that if you would just follow that, you would be successful.
Thank you so much, Ms. Adasa Sadova. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Wow, wonderful. Sabina, that was an amazing, powerful, honest answer to Jonathan as a young person in his 20s, who also asked that very, very important question on behalf of young people. And Dawn, I'd like to ask the same question posed to you, Dawn, from Jonathan. What advice would you have for young persons as such?
Okay, that's young entrepreneurs wanting to start up their business.
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Well, I would say the first thing is you need to have your plan. What does that look like? You need to move it from your head to actual paper. so that you could present it to a financial institution to get the seed funding that you need. Too often, young entrepreneurs, they have the dream, they know exactly what they want, but they don't commit it to paper. And unless you commit it to paper, that then a financial institution can see and understand, you must be able to explain it away as well. And sometimes you just need to start smaller, if and then grow and have your bankers grow with you. So if you have an idea, you have a business plan, if you know what you want to do, you just go ahead and get your financial planning done and present that to the bank. And, try to start with an amount that you can get unsecured and then go from there. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Really appreciate that. Any other questions from a wonderful audience here this evening, as we are about to come to the end of this really informative first session for 2022. So the floor is open. You may raise your hand as we are coming to the end of this powerful session this evening. So we're just looking around to see if there's any digital hand or virtual hand that has been raised. I see that there are some persons on here that are also too in business, which we appreciate you being here. And maybe you might have something you want to share out of experience. That is also welcome. So the floor is yours. Going once, going twice. We're looking to see.
And we also see all the way from Grenada, our good friend,
yes.
Dr. Lewis. Thanks for joining us. Any questions, any comments, any words of encouragement from anyone? We also see we have in our midst our Cassandra Janssen.
Yes, the SG of the ministers, the cabinet of the ministers on
Yes.
St. Martin, St. Martin's government. Nice to see you, Cassandra. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year to you. And also I see Mr. Ricardo Somersall, who is also a very successful businessman on the island, Eco Tech Solutions, that does a lot of remediation. He's been on my show quite a few times. Good evening to you, Ricardo Somersall. Mr. Rickson Martina, good to see you. And also Desiree Connor. We acknowledge all of you here this evening. And Sylvia, good to see you also, always committed return attendee. So we appreciate you. Happy New Year to you. Also to Angela Rumu. Thank you for joining us. So the floor is almost closed for your questions or comments.
Yes.
So I'm going to go over it once, going twice, going 3 times, and it's closed.
I just would like to invite Dawn and Sabina to just give any closing thoughts.
Yes.
As we wrap up for tonight.
Okay, just to say, as I said in the chat, thanks to everyone. It was actually an absolute pleasure to share with you. I like sharing, especially where, I have picked up some level of expertise that can help others to thrive and grow. So it was my absolute pleasure being here tonight, and I wish each of you the very best in 2022. And remember, it's not too late to start creating wealth.
Awesome.
Thank you very much, Dawn. Appreciate it. And Sabina.
Absolutely. I'm very grateful to be among you and to share these opportunities. And I truly would like you to say, to realize that 2022 is an amazing beginning. It's never late to change your life for better. It's just to try to reach the sun and you will end up among the stars. How do they say? So just be open your heart. Don't be afraid, be bold, and just do it. And we can help.
Wonderful, Sabina. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. And also Dawn, thank you for sharing your closing words with us. And I believe as we are closing off here, let me just share my screen. Let me see. Here we go. Yes, so we have come to the end of this evening's first session for 2022, as I've mentioned before. And we really want to thank all of you for sticking and staying with us, and also for posing your questions to both our guest speakers this evening. Highly appreciated. And we're pretty sure that you have taken on board quite a lot of useful nuggets. As you can see on the screen, the next steps are as follows. And I'm just rewinding that back a bit there. And the next steps are as follows. There is a health assessment that you would be able to complete. We do have your email addresses, so we will send that to you. As you heard, Sabina spoke about earlier, the health aspect of being a health coach within longevity. Being a holistic health coach, certified holistic health coach, one of the things that we do as such is we offer a complete free health assessment, which you can fill out online, get your health score, and on the basis on that, then we schedule consultation with you, and then we're able to look at what would be the 9 key nutrients or any other supplements that will be important for you to optimize your health. It's very important to take care of your mental, spiritual, physical, financial, and relational health, and that's why we hold these seminars. And we do invite you, of course, to visit us on www.victoriouslivingfoundation.com. That's www.victoriouslivingfoundation.com. As you can see on the screen, we have a very powerful event coming up. In Leadership is the world's largest one-day leadership event. Virtually, the replay is going to be on March 31st, 2022 from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time. And these are some powerful speakers who are going to be speaking about the shift. The theme this year, or the theme from 2021, was the shift. And as you know, we experienced that actually in 2021 with a great shift that has taken place due to COVID and a lot of other things that have shifted the way how we do business, the way we live. And we really invite you to register for this powerful leadership event, the world's largest one-day leadership event by LeaderCast, which is going to be on March 31st, 2022, virtually from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And you can register for such by going on to www.victoriouslivingfoundation.com onto the leadership page. And as mentioned before at the beginning of the seminar or webinar this evening, on the end of this year, December 1st to the 4th of December 2022, here in beautiful St. Martin at the amazing 5-star Sonesta resort, which is Ocean Point. You're going to be able to be among these amazing facilitators, Dr. Will Molen, Cheryl Grant, Lanre Ulusola, myself, Muriel Jean-Michel, and Dr. Nicole and May Francis Cotton as 6 transformational specialists. And you have the opportunity to register for this amazing retreat, meet like-minded persons, and get yourself in gear, rejuvenated, and ready for 2023. And that's also where you can register on www.victoriouslivingretreats.com. So we want to thank you in many languages for being here this evening. And as it is, we will close off with a word of prayer and really wish you all the best for 2022 until, of course, we meet with our next webinar, which will be in February next month. So we'll close in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening. We thank you, Lord, for both Dawn and Sabina that did an amazing job for our first webinar for 2022. We thank you, Lord, for the wealth of knowledge that you've given them and experience within the financial aspect of management and creating wealth. May you continue to bless them and their families throughout 2022, and may you bless each and every attendee this evening to our first webinar for 2022. This we pray in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you one and all for being with us tonight. And it has been a pleasure bringing this masterclass to you. And we appreciate you both, Dawn and Sabina, for your wealth of information once again. So we're going to wait for a few minutes if there are any questions, and we'll just stop the recording at this time.